Good day, everybody, and welcome to another Teach and Learn in Korea experience. A look back on the vlogs I made while in South Korea. This one is called Things That I Figured Out in South Korea. So I wonder what this is all about. I haven't looked at this. This is the first time that I've looked at it. This is the first time that I'm going to look at it after about 6 years. And apparently the caption is, let's just quickly check this out. And shut up. Apparently, and some tips if you ever decide to move to this beautiful country. That's like the tagline at the bottom. So, without any further ado, let's move on to that. Look at me. Haha. It's about an 11-minute video. It's going to probably be about a 12 to 13 odd minute video on this side. Let's just listen to it.
Welcome to another Zephyr vlog episode brought to you by the power of the internet, straight through YouTube and from Korea. Where do we start?
Just a quick thing. I'm like, and I'm sitting there going, I am in Korea. I'm still, probably at this stage I was like, I'm still in a dream. This is all a dream.
Firstly, last week Friday, my kids, we had like an English festival.
English festival?
And I was obviously the dude of honor, the teacher. They're doing it like, they're just trying to do it, and I don't know why they did it, but I had to be there, so it was kind of cool. Got there. My mentor teacher told me I had to make a speech at the end of the thing. As I got there, like, okay, yeah, I'll make a speech. And I sat through all the grades' English performances.
Oh, yeah.
And I was moved.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Moved by each of those performances. It was like building up from like the first one. I was like, I'm manly. I'm not moved. The second one was like, I can do this. The third one was like, I'll do this. Fourth one was like, don't cry. Fifth one was like, oh I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Sixth one was like, and then the speech came. I'm like, oh crap! Now I had to keep all these emotions, and so I was sitting there like, going, hey, welcome, hi kids. You know, I was trying to be boisterous about it, and like, work everybody.
I probably failed.
And at the point where it came down, like, where I wanted to say, like, it's such an honor for me to work at this school. It's been such an honor and privilege for me to work at this school. I started like tearing up. And I'm like, oh, thank God I'm in Korea. So I just bowed down, and as I bowed down, I stopped crying. So
It was an honor. It still is an honor. Was an honor to work at that school.
that's a thing. And everybody loved it, and it was amazing. And it got me to thinking, what can one expect here in Korea? Now, I've spoken with a couple of people. I know a couple of people that have had some problems with Korea. So most of them coming to Korea thinking it'll be a joyride, and then 4 months down the line, they freak the hell out and they run home. Midnight runners, they call them, I think. And that pisses me off. Foreigners, I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, come on.
I'm a foreigner and I'm sticking it out. It's not that bad. But there are instances where it's bad, so I understand that. But like one of the things, and I don't know how long this list will be or how long this video will be, but one of the things that I realized that I never had before I came to Korea is I've got a really, really laid back or relaxed attitude towards life and whatever it throws my way. Well, apparently, according to people I know back home, I had that same attitude, but I have more of that attitude now. I actually realize that I have that attitude.
Oh,
so
wow.
When things
Good job.
to go wrong in Korea, and trust me, in the beginning, I'm not going to go into detail. In the beginning, it did. I just like, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it. Let's just take it as it is. And that made me a better person, I believe. Second thing, and this is important. Second thing, especially if you're in the rural areas, especially if you're in the rural areas. You will be alone. And I'm not talking about rural areas where there's 20 or 30 foreigners in your town. That's pretty rural according to some of these people.
Oh yeah,
Or
I remember
10 or
that.
14 other, even 15 other foreigners in your town. That's pretty rural according to these foreigners, some of these foreigners that I've met. In my town, we've got maybe 10, if that many, English-speaking foreigners. Right?
Yeah, that number was closer to like 8, 7, round about there.
Right? So I'm saying it's gonna get lonely. If you have more than 10 foreigners in your town, you don't have an excuse to get lonely. Less than that, I understand. If it's lonely, you're gonna get lonely, and you need to be able to deal with that. And I dealt with it. Like for the first 4 months, I didn't go anywhere because I was saving up. I was still like trying to get money together, and for the first 4 months in Korea, I didn't go anywhere. Right?
Wait a minute, first 4 months. That includes the orientation month. So essentially the first 4 months and the first 3 months when I was alone. Yeah, because basically I remember I started going out or meeting up with other TaLK scholars in May. Yeah, that was about 3 months alone. Yeah, that was 3 months of alone time.
But I survived the first 4 months, and then I survived the next month, and the next month, and then I started enjoying it. Not that I wasn't enjoying it before then. Don't get me wrong. I was just. You're gonna get lonely. That's the point I'm trying to make. You are gonna get lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be able to deal with that.
Right? That is a big thing.
If you're sitting with anything more than 10 different people in your hometown, 10 different foreigners, English-speaking foreigners, in your town, in your rural town in Korea, you are not in a rural freaking town. You can go out and talk to at least one of them at any given time. Right? Over here, it's a bit different story. But yeah. I know of a friend who, he spoke Korean, and he was an awesome guy. He's an awesome guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he couldn't handle the loneliness. He left after 6 months.
He was a Korean-speaking, I think, Canadian. Korean-speaking someone. Like, he's a Korean-American, Korean-Canadian. And but then again, the program really put him in a very remote area. Like, he was one of 2 people. Or he might have been the only one giving English class in that area. So, and it was also pretty damn close to the border of South Korea and North Korea. So it's like, yeah. Like, he literally had to travel, if he wanted to get anywhere close to anyone from the TaLK program, he had to get on the bus and travel for, I think, about 2 hours to get to anyone that he knows.
And
that's how rural he was.
But he left after 6 months. He couldn't handle the loneliness, and he is half Korean, right? So it just goes to show you the type of personality you have to be. Third thing that happened to me that I never thought I really had is, to be perfectly honest, I didn't know that I could teach kids when I got here.
Oh, yeah. 0 teaching experience. Now I go teach kids English.
Sure, I had, like, fun playing with my brother's kids and, like, making funny faces with them, but I never thought that my personality would be able to teach these kids. And I am teaching them now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Stuff they come back to me with 3 weeks down the line. I forgot that I taught them something. They come back to me and they tell me something. I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. And then I remember, crap, I taught you that. And the fourth thing, I think it's the fourth thing, is...
Yeah, you can count.
Take risks.
Take risks?
You don't know how many weekends, like, it sounds like I travel a lot, but I don't. The times that I do travel, because of the motion sickness and everything, that's another thing. If you have motion sickness, good luck here in Korea. But anyway, the times that I do travel... Oh, crap, you can see I just got out of the shower. The times that I do travel, right, I don't really plan anything.
Yep.
If I travel to Gwangju, the biggest city closest to me, I like my plans are go to that motel, book yourself in, and then I just do whatever the hell I want. There have been times where I've been to Seoul with only the clothes that I have on me and my wallet and my cell phone. It's like, okay, I'm in Seoul now. What am I supposed to do here? I need to find a room. I was like going to Seoul without booking any rooms, without like knowing where I would go for the night. I've been there a couple of times where I didn't know where I was sleeping that night. You know?
Oh, I remember,
I'd
yeah.
I'd arrive in Seoul at night and I'm like, I probably need a place to sleep. Luckily, it's easy to find places, but like, take risks. Take risks.
Yeah.
If you go to an unknown town,
Safe
just
risks.
go there and see if you can do anything. Another of the risks I took is I sort out most of my banking stuff here. I'm in a rural town where it's like I sat in front of a teller like, oh, I need this, and he looks at me blankly. I'm like, okay, Mr. Bank Teller. And then I show him, I need this in here, and then it needs to go to Namafrika. It needs to go to South Africa, and this is the account details. And they look at me and they're like, they don't know. Next day I'll come back, and then I'll find a different way to explain it to them. I've done most of my banking alone here.
I think it took me about 3 or 4 days to actually get things sorted so that I can send money back to South Africa.
My bills I pay alone. The only thing that I had help with was getting a cell phone contract.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's the only thing, right? Everything else I had to do on my own. I would sit there. I remember the first time I transferred money back to South Africa. It took me about a week to get it done.
Okay, well, I stand corrected, about a week.
Because I would figure something out, and I would look at the list, and the form they gave me to fill in, and I'd look at it, and I'd translate it, and I'd go back to them the next day, like, this is what I want you to do. And they're like, no, they can't do that. And I'd go back again. Eventually, it got to the news, and it happened successfully. Take risks. And the last thing, and this is quite a long one, the last thing I want to tell you is don't be afraid to fall in love with this country.
Oh, yeah.
It is a beautiful country. Don't be afraid to fall in love with the people. Don't think because you've fallen in love with a country, you love your own country, your home country less. No, it doesn't. It's like in real life, actually. You'll never forget your first love. But you always will find someone else after your first love. You will always find someone else. And that is how it works with falling in love with Korea. I love my country. I hate it, but I love it.
I hate it.
But I love Korea. I love the people. I love the nature. I love the environment. The humidity could do a bit of tweaking though, but other than that,
Yeah, that
I
humidity.
love this country. I love my job. And I love my life. I was speaking to a friend of mine the other day on Facebook where he asked me, how's it going? And I'm like, everything's actually going pretty damn well. And then I replied to him again saying, I never thought that I would say that while I was back in South Africa. But everything is going well. Be open-minded, be relaxed when you come to Korea. Take everything just take it in stride. Love kids. And you will soon find, and be able to, you should be able to be alone for long periods at a time. And before long you will find that the country has made a home in your heart. And on that very happy note, my name has been Zaffageek, if you want.
All right. Yeah, wow. What an interesting video. Holy crap. Yeah, the big thing is, the 4 things, or the things that I've learned is, take everything in stride, especially in Korea, because things can change literally at the drop of a hat. And just take risks, take safe risks, if you will, and generally don't plan out a lot of things. Only planning you need to do when traveling in South Korea is where you're going to sleep that night. That's essentially the only planning you need to do, because you'll always find something to do wherever you're at in South Korea. That's basically the general gist. I've had weekends where I'd go to a town and not know anything about the town and only, again, have my wallet and the clothes that I have on me. Oh, obviously my mobile phone too. And then I'd get to the town, buy myself a toothbrush, or if the motel that I stay at or that I find has a toothbrush, I'll use that. And then I'll just start exploring the town. And it's exciting, it's really exciting. And I think it's easier to do it that way in South Korea because generally Koreans don't want anything to do with foreigners, especially if you look like this or, like that. But yeah, this is one of the better vlogs that I made. We're just over halfway through all my vlogs, but then again, I don't do every vlog, I skip a few. So if we're about halfway, that's about 30 odd vlogs, so we're probably looking about 10 to 15 more episodes starting from here, maybe 20. But yeah, we're getting to the end. It would be kind of poetic if we could end it in January, but I don't think we will. Yeah, that's about it. What a cool freaking episode, man. This was a beautiful surprise. This was really a beautiful surprise. I really liked watching that vlog, and I hope you did too. If you can hear it. I hope we can hear it and finish it in editing. But anyway, that's been it for this video. What's next up? Let's see. What's going to be next up after that? Let's just quickly see. Oh, we're basically going to go immediately to the next one. So we're basically... So it's 1, 2, 3, 4... The next 4 or 5 videos is literally going to be the next 4 or 5 vlogs. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. And as always, tell someone that you love them today. Hug them. And until the next video, you should have a good one. Please like and subscribe. No, have a good one. Well, please do, but have a good one is most important. Yeah, goodbye.